kilograms. Same year she took the African Continental title at 75 kilogram middleweight, the Commonwealth Games silver medalist, and the African Continental title last year at 75 kilograms, making her a two-time African Continental champion. Comes to the ring as the All-Africa Games bronze medalist by 75 kilograms, and the woman who prevented her from making a gold medal bout is the boxer she faces off against tonight. Well, I think Gramane was so keen to get into the boxing ring that she actually climbed the wrong set of steps, making her way to the gold corner. Now she's taken up residence in the correct part of the ring, just receiving some final instructions from her coach.
Gentlemen, please welcome her opponent coming into the gold corner, representing Nigeria, is Patricia Mbata.
So through the dry ice steps Patricia Mbata, 29 years of age, from London, but switched to represent Nigeria last year, and my goodness, she has made a real splash on the international scene since doing so. The All-Africa Games gold medalist at 75 kilograms, beating Rady Adosinda Gramane at the semi-final stage. Bronze medalist in her first African Continental event.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is IBA Champions Night, Addis Ababa, and this contest is 6 two-minute rounds in the 75 kilogram middleweight division. The action is presented to you by IBA President Mr. Umar Kremlov in association with the African Boxing Confederation. Your officials for this contest, judges at ringside, are Sid Ali Mokretari, Sarah Boulel, and Stephen Messia Bumbi. Your referee in charge of the action from Afghanistan is Mr. Tamim Sultani. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to meet the boxers. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the black corner, weighing in at 75 kilograms. She comes to the ring with 14 wins to her name. She is a former World and African Games bronze medalist representing Mozambique, Rady Adosinda Gramane. And her opponent across the ring, fighting out of the gold corner, weighing in at 73.45 kilograms. She comes to the ring with a record including 19 wins. 5 of those wins come by way of knockout. She is a former African Games champion. She is a former England elite national champion, living in England but representing her home nation of Nigeria. Please welcome Patricia Mbata.
So final check of the equipment from the referee, Mr. Tamim Sultani. Gumshoe in position, waistband to his liking. Now the final instructions will be issued to both boxers.
Shake your hands and good luck.
So we're underway then. The opening bout in the first ever IBA Champions Night event staged on the continent of Africa is in the 75 kilogram middleweight division 6 2-minute rounds between boxers who know all about one another. The southpaw boxer, wearing the black trimmed with gold, is Rady Adosinda Gramane, 28 years of age, from Maputo in Mozambique. Slightly taller figure operating out of the orthodox stance, wearing the white trimmed with gold, is Patricia Mbata, 29 years of age, from London, representing Nigeria, switching to the land of her heritage last year. And she comes to the ring as the 2024 All-Africa Games gold medalist, beating Gramane at the semi-final stage of that multi-event tournament. That multi-sport tournament where boxing is a feature. Nice southpaw combination scored from Gramane just a few moments ago. There she's picked off by a counter left jab as she was looking to disengage. Both boxers content to operate behind low-held gloves, trying to fire in those punches from an angle that the opponent doesn't expect. Three-shot combination was short, perhaps Gramane just seeking to find the range, reaching for the southpaw left but was off the mark. First and third boxing from Gramane as she continues to move clockwise to her left. Now could be walking onto that backhand of Mbata, who turned in a good right hand beneath the body. That was countered by a single shot response from Gramane. 2-minute rounds, remember, so already approaching the closing seconds of this first stanza. Left jab not too far away from Mbata. Good work to the body from Gramane. And it's Gramane looking to work away with that free left hand. Mbata looking to inconvenience her and tie her up in a clinch. So those shots threatening to stray into rabbit punch territory. Sneaky right hand snuck home just on the 10-second clapper by Mbata. And a rather cagey opening 2 minutes in the first bout of this IBA Champions Night event in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Sean Murphy from the Finchley Boxing Club in North London issuing the instructions to Mbata. That's where she plies her trade on the club level. Some of the action from the opening round, where both boxers using it as something of a scouting mission. Remember, these two know all about one another. And it was a competitive opening round. So calm instruction in that gold corner in the direction of Mbata. Likewise taking across. Same taking place across the ring in the black corner. So the second round underway. Is Mbata out to center ring quickly and looking to establish her position in that prime piece of ring real estate. Good right hand driven into the body. It's an altogether brisker start by Mbata, who's getting busy with that lead left hand. And again, look at the battle for the front foot position. Each boxer trying to get their foot on the outside of the opponent. Nice scoring right jab from Gramane. But it's Mbata just feinting on the edge of range. A lead right hand short of the mark from Gramane, but again, just perhaps seeking to keep Mbata occupied. The left cross that came through behind that right jab was right on the money from Gramane, who's just continuing. As again, she scores with a 1-2 combination in between the low-held gloves of Mbata. Single jab knocked down by the defenses of Gramane. Beautiful southpaw left once again. And Gramane has really found the range with that southpaw backhand in the opening minutes of this second round. Mentioned the fact that these two boxers met at the All-Africa Games semi-final stage in Accra, Ghana last year. They first met en route to Mbata's silver medal finish at the 2023 African Continental Championships. That's when Gramane took her second African Continental title. So in this trilogy encounter tonight, the rivalry is tied, 1 win apiece. Southpaw left not too far away once again from Gramane. And again, corkscrew right hand setting up the southpaw backhand. And there's the same shot once more. Mbata's going to have to make the adjustment, because despite being the shorter of the two, Gramane has found her range wonderfully with that southpaw backhand. Furious exchange near the neutral corner. just to the right of our commentary position here at the Adwa Museum. And a busy second round of boxing between these two familiar rivals. So some of the action from that second round. There's the southpaw left that Gramane used to such good effect. On that occasion, it was a roundhouse southpaw left. On other occasions, it's been more direct. Mbata's going to have to make the adjustment to avoid that shot. Wasn't too far away with it there as she slung it in overhand fashion, Gramane. So Sean Murphy, Commonwealth Games gold medalist back in Edinburgh, 1986. As we move into the third round of a contest that is scheduled for 6-2s in the 75kg middleweight division. Mbata out to center ring once again. Gramane just content to operate on the edge of ring center. Good right hand score to the body by Mbata, who's wide-eyed and concentrated as she continues to edge her way forward. She wasn't too far away with a left jab, but there's a 1-2 combination from Gramane. Southpaw right, followed by a left cross, and a left cross finding the target once again. So Gramane stepping in with quick feet and, again, showing wonderful timing on that lead southpaw right. Mbata looking for the counter shot. The thinking just on the edge of range continues. Southpaw left lands once again after it was Mbata who led off the attack. She's continuing to dip at the knees, vary her height. Good right hand driven into the body and then came back upstairs with a long looping left hook, followed by a right cross. And Mbata just forcing Gramane to change direction. She moved counterclockwise momentarily, and I wonder whether she felt that three-shot combination. Body, then head. That's a cracking left cross out of the gold corner from Gramane. Just leaned back, catapulted off the turnbuckle, and found the range with that left hand straight down the pipe. And so, approaching the halfway stage of this contest, and to this point, Mbata hasn't yet made the adjustment to avoid that southpaw left, which has served Gramane so well. But Mbata has found her own distance in this particular round, scoring effectively with a combination, both upstairs and downstairs against Gramane. It's Mbata just pressing on the 10-second clapper, right hand slung into the body by the taller boxer representing Nigeria. Untidy tangle concludes the third round of boxing. So each boxer electing to remain on their feet in between rounds here at the Adwa Museum. We take a look at some of the action from that third round. Mbata scoring effectively both to body and head. And again, good straight punching, and that was what caused Gramane to back off, but there was the southpaw left, employing the layback, springing off the back foot and finding the range with it wonderfully. So on the left is Sean Murphy, former British and Commonwealth professional champion. He was the man who first took Anthony Joshua on the pads when he walked through the door of the Finchley Amateur Boxing Club after the 2008 Olympic Games. I remember interviewing Sean Murphy. He said that at that point, remember he's an experienced boxing figure, he said he'd never trained anyone with so much power. Joshua actually broke his wrists, or his wrist when he took him on the pads. Testament to the punching power that the man who went on to become two-time heavyweight champion of the world, as well as the Olympic champion and world championship silver medalist in Baku, testament to the power that he possesses. But here, we're in the second half of a middleweight contest scheduled for 6, and Mbata from the Finchley Amateur Boxing Club, same club as Derek Chisora and Spencer Oliver and the aforementioned Anthony Joshua, on the front foot. There she scores with a single lead left, countered by a single shot in response from Gramane, who's doing a good job controlling the tempo here, because she's almost permanently on flat feet. She reaches for a lead single straight shot, but was countered by a stiff left jab from Mbata. Gramane scoring with a two-shot salvo down to the body. Remember, he's a big boxer at 75kg middleweight. But Gramane, by constantly posing a threat while on the edge of range, and there she reaches for that southpaw left once again, just a little off the mark. But her constant incremental steps backwards and sideways, just seeing her seemingly box at the tempo that she's seeking to set. Occasionally there have been bursts of tempo like that from Mbata. Straight shot successes to the body of Gramane. Corkscrew left hand reach for of the uppercut fashion from Mbata, but couldn't find the range. And there she scores with a left jab to the shoulder, looking for the right hand downstairs. It was a cuffing right hook while spinning off the line from the right hook, from the right hand of Gramane. There she scores with the right jab once again, reaching for the 1-2 combination. Both shots inaccurate. And Mbata fired the right cross, but her legs are not in range. Fourth round in the books. Some of the action, that double right hook, head then body, but look at that for a right hand lead from Mbata. Yeah, she scored with the same shot to the body of Gramane. So it's a very competitive affair in this show opener here on the IBA Champions Night stage in Addis Ababa. Again, both boxers electing to remain standing on their feet to receive instructions and take the water on board. It's a contest that has been incredibly close so far. Both boxers scoring at an impressive ratio with their scoring punches. It's just that they're not letting their hands go in frenetic fashion. So a contest that's still in the balance as Mbata comes out looking the more dynamic of the two, bobbing and weaving as she presses over that front foot. Beautiful left hand again landed by Gramane, and now that perhaps the most furious exchange we've had of the entire contest as both boxers sought success with straight punches. And again, it's Mbata looking to press, ensuring that she's not following Gramane around the boxing ring, instead looking to cut off that avenue just as she did there, moving in front of her opponent, taking away the counterclockwise movement and just able to fire out a fusillade of straight punches, a couple of which landed. Counter left hand to the body, the scoring shot from Gramane. Approaching the halfway stage of this penultimate round. Mbata really does possess quite a dig in that right cross. She's commentating in a tournament where she fought against Khadija Mahdi. Gave her a count with that same shot, a pile-driving right cross, which slumped Mahdi against the ropes. Mahdi went on to win the contest as Mbata looking to get busy with the lead left hand. Check right hook not too far away from Gramane, but it's Mbata continuing to walk her opponent down. There she scored with a single left jab and then a long looping left hook. Shot from around the belt line as the standoff just on the edge of range continues. Gramane has been breathing through a mouth that's open for some time, but she's still possessing crispness and sharpness on her punches. 10-second clapper indicates that we're in the closing stages of round number 5. Left hook, the concluding shot of that cluster from Mbata. Beautiful bolo right hand to the body from Mbata, and Mbata perhaps getting on top in that penultimate round. Greater volume of punches and landing with some eye-catching shots where she showed good variety to both body and head and a wide repertoire of shots in her arsenal as well. So again, terrific trade-off where both boxers enjoying success, but that's where the angle was changed by Mbata in front of Gramane, with Mbata stepping to her left to cut off the avenue of escape to the southpaw's right, and then she was able to score with a spearing left jab. So the sixth and final round of the show opener here in Addis Ababa. And as has been the case for the preceding 5 rounds, it's Mbata creeping forwards over the front foot and getting busy with a two-fisted attack. Southpaw left is the final shot of the exchange from Gramane. And that is a shot that has been really prominent in her repertoire since the opening bell. She's had consistent success with it. There it is behind the right jab once again. And again, for the most part, it's been this posture that the boxers have adopted. Mbata on the front foot, and remember, some judges prefer aggression. The aggression has to be effective, remember. It's not that Gramane has been running, but she has spent the majority of the contest on the back foot. There's a counter left hand out of that southpaw stance. The referee, Mr. Tamim Sultani, calling time because the mouthpiece of the Gramane has been dislodged. So a quick rinse and reinsertion, and the action resumes. Beyond the halfway stage of this final round. Again, it's Gramane on the back foot. She breaks the standoff with the right-left combination. As the two boxers found themselves in a tangle, it's Mbata who's spoken to about turning her back on her opponent. That illegal, of course. Looking for that left hand out of the southpaw stance is Gramane once again. Reaching for it, but not taking her feet with her, and that's what rendered it short. Counter right jab not too far away. Beautiful use of the right hand by Mbata. Fighting in straight fashion first, then turned the right uppercut underneath to the body of Gramane. Closing seconds of what has been a very competitive show opener. Bobbing and weaving in the pocket from Gramane. Just rendering some of those shots from Mbata inaccurate, but there's a cracking right hand straight down the pipe once more. Then Mbata looks for it again, but this time down to the body. Counter two-shot salvo on the back foot from Gramane. And the boxers ending the contest in a clinch. Fantastic show opener here at the Adwa Museum in Addis Ababa. Two familiar rivals facing off for the 3rd time. This time over the distance of 6 2-minute rounds rather than 3 threes. And it was as close and competitive as their first 2 meetings. Wonderful use of the southpaw left from principally on the back foot by Gramane. But the boxer seeking to be the aggressor, creeping forwards over the front foot and having success with her own backhand in the second half of the contest in particular was Patricia Mbata. So this one's gone to the verdict of the judges. How have they seen what was a really competitive and enthralling opening contest? First bout of 7 here on IBA Champions Night action in the Ethiopian capital. Wonderful to see that camaraderie between the two. So these all prove to be nervous moments for the boxers. So Mbata already at center ring. Scores being tabulated. When it takes this amount of time, we often find ourselves in the realm of a split decision. Another close encounter for the 3rd time between these two familiar rivals. And now we await the announcement of the verdict to determine who will be the victor in this particular contest.
and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for both of our boxers. After 6 rounds of boxing, we go to your judges' scorecards, where we have a split decision in favor of your winner. In the gold corner, representing Nigeria, Patricia Mbata.
So Patricia Mbata declared a split decision victor over Rady Adosinda Gramane. It was that type of contest. Gramane enjoying terrific success with her southpaw backhand, but in the second half of the contest, Mbata, who is beaming from ear to ear, really began to find a range with her own backhand. She drapes herself in the Nigerian flag. As we take a look at some of the highlights from the contest that has just concluded over 6 2-minute rounds. Gramane really found a range to terrific effect with her own southpaw left in the opening half of the contest, the first 3 rounds. But then it was the backhand of Mbata which became an increasingly prominent weapon in the second half of the contest. And she was always the boxer on the front foot, the more dynamic figure, and perhaps a greater industry and outward show of aggression crucial in getting her the nod in this third meeting between these 2 boxers. If it's that close, I'm sure there's going to be a demand to see it again. But here in East Africa, it is the West African Patricia Mbata of Nigeria who has been declared a victor after a really competitive 6 2-minute rounds of boxing. And there was a moment of confirmation.